Bookworms! Hi and welcome to another episode of the Bookworms Devblog. And in this episode I will be talking about how I make my traditional art into digital art. The process before the actual animating of the game. So check it out. So the first thing I do is to actually put the sketch into the computer and then I just start working on the lines. Normally when I do the lines I work in Paint Tool Sai. It makes really soft lines and it's very comfortable to work with. So I'm very pleased with it and I can definitely recommend it. It's not that expensive either. So first of all I just follow the lines that I've made before in the sketch. Here I also do small changes like add some folds or add details that I maybe didn't think of while doing the sketch, but starts thinking of when I actually do the real thing. Here I can also remove some things that I find too much in the picture. The character that I'm actually working on here is Laura's grandfather, who disappeared when she was a little girl, so she hasn't seen him for ages. He was this fisherman disappearing at sea, both him and his fishing boat. Getting the eyes right is one of the things that I believe is most important with a sketch. That's what actually make me feel happy or bad about it, since it puts so much feeling into the image. Of course there are other things that is just as important, like where I put the shadows and the line weight and such, but if the eyes are just weird, I don't buy it. So I try to always put a nice expression on the faces and in the eyes of the character that I make for these still pictures. Later on, when I actually animate it, I usually remove more of the details. But even though these details all don't make it into the game, I think it's nice to have a picture where the character looks exactly as I picture them in my head. So now I'm placing out all the shadows, and I know that shading has been one of the hardest things for me to learn. I have felt comfortable with it for the latest years, but I remember when I was in school, I had a real problem with how to shade things. So that's something I'm very happy about actually feeling comfortable with now, because it does so much to the picture, and small mistakes can be easily spotted. So I use a very simple kind of shading here. I don't use any colors in the shadings or in the light. I simply pick a color that is slightly darker than the original, and I only use one shade color and one light color for each color. So it doesn't look very realistic, but that's not actually what I'm after. I'm after something that is easy to animate later and is enough to give a sense of volume. I now put out the line weight, and this is something that I'm still working very hard on getting it right. I go for gut feeling most of the time. What you want to do, at least that's how I think, is that you need a balance. So if you have something to the right, you also have to think of having something on the left. Every curve that you want to show, you make that a little bit thicker, like elbows or other curves. And after putting all this together, line weight and expressions, colors, it's done.